Welcome to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm the sexy ghost of Devon Sawa.
And I'm Jamie Lee Curtis from True Lies.
And this is a show where we talk about movies.
Magic and Muppets.
Occasionally. We've dropped the Muppet ball recently.
Only for the last couple of episodes because they didn't really fit. We couldn't fit Muppets into a giant tier list. It would have been like a 9-part thing.
True. And really, I think we are paying respect to the Muppets by not shortchanging them.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to be a token Muppet. You want to be able to devote enough time to give them the proper honor that they deserve.
Exactly.
That's how I'm framing it.
And honestly, I feel if we were to have picked a movie to make better with Muppets, it would have been Moana 2 because that movie was just straight garbage.
It was terrible. I don't think there's any movie. Is there any movie that wouldn't be improved by Muppets?
We have not discovered one yet.
It's either like so self-serious that Muppets play, or it's already lighthearted enough that Muppets play. There's not a situation that a Muppet isn't funny in.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Nope. I was gonna say like something like sexual assault or abuse, but even like then I thought, what about Muppets? But
like Clockwork Orange Muppets.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Okay. What's the movie about the Boston Globe and the Catholic Church cover-up?
Oh, Spotlight.
Spotlight, still funny.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of a subject matter that's still not funny.
Yeah, it's like Father Green. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Looks like they got me.
I think I've lost my faith.
Is he Doubt? You know in Muppet Christmas Carol, the old lady Kermit that's singing in the little old woman's choir. He must be so lonely.
Oh yeah. Kind of brownish.
I think she's a brownish Kermit lady. Imagine her playing Meryl Streep's role in Doubt. Still funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. See, we'll cross the bridge when it comes, but so far we've not come across a movie where Muppets could not.
It's a tall ask. It's a very tall ask. Journey with us, if you will, back to high school. Think about your high school yearbook. Think about did you win any awards in your high school yearbook?
I did. I can't remember what it was. I think I was most likely to be a Vegas performer.
Oh, that's good.
If anyone from Spanish Fork High School class of 2005, I actually couldn't find my yearbook, my senior year yearbook. Oh. So if I'm speaking incorrect information, please drop it in the comments, and you can let me know. But I'm fairly confident I got most likely to be a Vegas performer.
That's good. I think podcasting is the Vegas of lunchtime work activities. So I think it's pretty spot on. That's right. I think I might have won like class clown, but I don't know if I actually did or if I just thought I should have.
Ah.
It could have been an aspirational thought or maybe a deep-held resentment that I hadn't. I didn't actually check my yearbook either, but I feel like I won something like that. In fact, I did because I remember taking my picture with Sarah Egbert, who was very funny, and once organized a wonderful tour of Disneyland for us when she worked for Disney.
Ooh,
Shout out Sarah Egbert.
Yeah, all right.
She's married now. I can't remember her married name. What I do remember is last time we got together, we were talking about how her baby had like a cool gorilla-esque crawl before he or she learned to walk.
Oh, that's fun.
Sarah Egbert, wherever you are, please listen to this podcast.
Wherever you are.
Okay, so listen, we had some decent feedback on what we assumed would be the worst of our episodes, the tier list. We're going to take a similar tack today, returning to the idea of high school. We didn't want to rank villains necessarily, but we are going to talk about film villains. And imagine, if you will, with us, a villain high school. Attended only by villains. It's a very tricky school to coordinate because some people are animated. Yep. Many people are extremely antisocial. But at the end of the year, they produce a villain yearbook. We're going to pitch the villains most likely to X. These are this is the villain yearbook with focus on awards. Yeah. That was the worst preamble. It couldn't have gone any worse. It literally couldn't have gone any worse. Too many words, not funny. Not particularly descriptive.
But it's fine.
Okay.
It's essentially just like, the most likely to blank, the yearbook awards for villains.
We should just, fast forward this whole section and just, in subtitles, right? Just sum it up. We should do an AI overview of our own freaking podcast.
This is the yearbook villains awards.
It'd be so much better
that
than what I
AI
said.
voice drives me crazy.
Well, there's so many of them. I like the one that kind of sounds like this guy.
Do you know that this is something that AI could say? Like that.
Oh, dude, I hate
Drives
it.
me crazy.
I hate it so much.
One thing that is cool about AI is, well, it's cool and scary, villainous, if you will, that they can take people that have been deceased and they can put them, like they can have them say things.
Yes.
We saw this with like a recent political figure. But the thing that I thought was like really cool, I like Linkin Park and Chester Bennington, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Super talented guy. And I actually really like their replacement singer, Emily Armstrong.
She's good.
She's really good. But I did have this curiosity, like what would it sound like if Chester Bennington sang The Emptiness Machine, like their kind of bigger single that they've released recently.
Yeah.
And someone did an AI version where they took Chester's voice, like fed a whole bunch of songs into it. And it was interesting to hear
some of
his
the musical
voice.
matchups
It was really
mashups are cool. But it also like, yeah, I could get into the whole thing. It feels like a slippery slope of like exploitation sometimes. Like it's cool as a curio, but it's like, what if they start selling this?
Yeah.
Then it starts to feel like,
Then it's weird. Or like when they have people say things that they didn't actually say, you know,
Right.
like that's, it's kind of disturbing.
It's kind of disturbing stuff. You also introduced me to Cartman singing a Linkin Park song, which was also very fun.
Yeah.
I think here's the cold hard truth. We're going to end up using AI to do like a teaser for one of these Muppet movies.
Oh yeah.
So
we'll have to.
I'm going to have to get off my high horse because I think that's how we're going to do it.
We can't hate on it too much.
Like
it's a useful tool.
It is a useful tool, and it's like my thing is like it's fun and it's cool, but that's as far as I want it to go. And it's already proliferated far beyond that. It's already like ruining people's lives and eating all our steak.
Yeah, it should. Yeah. I think if you're doing it for like fun and funny things, it's great.
Right.
Like just like pure entertainment is awesome. But as soon as you start selling it, then it starts feeling icky, I think.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like it's at this point now where it's just convincing enough, but you can still tell that it's slop. I think it might cross a threshold where it's undetectable, and then that's when I think it gets rotten. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate it. AI is the worst villain in the whole high school. Okay, do we start with the heavy hitters? Do we just start with the most likely
just
to
right
succeed?
out the gate?
I think we could.
Yeah, let me pull up my...
Okay, so we had a couple different ideas about how to go about this. We landed on the villain high school. For each of these, we wanted it to feel like an award that might actually be in a yearbook. Some of them might be of a little bit of a stretch. So we're going to explain kind of what we mean. Number one, most likely to succeed. This is just overall our favorite film villains. Who's well-rounded? Who's iconic? When you think of the class of 2005, who do you think of?
Yeah. So if we're going best overall, I feel like there's been a lot of discussion around this particular villain, the one that I want to nominate for this.
Okay.
Ben
Shapiro.
But I do have receipts to back it up. So I would say the most likely to succeed villain, because he did succeed, I would put Thanos of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay. He did it.
Yeah, he did the thing.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, he did the thing that he wanted to. Old Thanos wasn't able to, but the Thanos that was the Thanos of the Infinity War film did his thing, and I think it kind of started this revolution where people started to see like, oh, we should. So I'm trying to think of how to explain this, but like we started to see more and more villains show more of like a side of them that trying to garner sympathy from the audience.
Yeah.
Because Thanos did that with
the
like
relatable villain.
Yeah, kind of more relatable. Thanos was one of the first villains that I remember hearing about when people were talking about movies. That there was people said, I kind of agree with Thanos.
Thanos was right.
Yeah, like Thanos was right.
That's true. That like there is the like I'm going to be an iconoclast. There's the whole like the Empire did nothing wrong subreddit. There's people that want to like.
Oh my gosh.
That's a whole thing. But yeah, it is like he is famously, at least takes a measured, he has a kind of a measured approach and a motivation that you're like, okay, he's not just evil for the sake of evil.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that'd be my pick. Best overall.
I think that's
most likely to succeed.
He is effective. He did succeed. He's a good villain. It's pretty amazing that he looks like a thumb, and it's not funny. Like, he's not a funny character. Casting Josh Brolin as a purple thumb and having that character be taken seriously is pretty good.
It's pretty wild.
And having him, even if you disagree with him, having him sort of have an arc. And as much as any of the heroes, he has to sacrifice things for his goal. Yeah. He's a good character.
Overall, I mean, because you saw like the mass like genocide that he committed, like he had committed on Gamora's planet, and he still took her in, and so you saw that he was doing things like quote unquote for like the greater good according to his like worldview, or universe view, and
multiverse view.
Yeah, multiverse view. But then to also see that he was willing to do like on a scale wise, a smaller scale killing, but it was like more personal to him, and it was like a really hard thing, and you could see like he really is trying to go for the greater good, not just like I do think you see that quite a bit in villains where they're trying to do the greater good, and it's like just the expendable people, the ones that you don't see or care about. I think of like the Watchmen with like Ozymandias. He like kills half like all these big cities, and it's just like that like people are chattel. But this one was more of a personal thing. So I do think that was like really played into him being like a really great villain. He's really, really driven by his like worldview and the thing he's trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'd have to look at this in timing, but it seems like there is not just in that movie, but in this era of film, there is an effort to like rehabilitate villains or reframe villains. I think about specifically the Despicable Me was one. Even and it's the same studio, Illumination, that did the Grinch movie. It's like, right. Like something that like not necessarily rehabilitates, but like, recast the villain. It really looks at like why would a villain be a villain?
Yeah.
Why would the baby Grinch grow up to be Jim Carrey? These are the things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've talked about this. This is so obscure, and it's going to take too much context, but it's so funny to me. Do you ever encounter something that's so funny, but it's actually not funny to anyone but you and maybe like 4 other people in the world?
Oh, man.
Like a moment where it's like the algorithm nailed me to such a degree that I can't even imagine how.
Yeah. I can't think of examples.
Well, and that's fine.
But I know exactly what you're talking about.
But where it's like it happens to be like 2 properties that you love mashed up, and it's like if there were a subreddit for this type of humor, there would be 4 people in it. But like when it hits you, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
One of those is this. At this point in my life, I was very into the computer game Overwatch.
Oh, yes.
And in Overwatch, there's a character who's only ever in one piece of art. Her name is Effie. And Effie is this little African scientist whiz kid who creates a robot named Orisa. And Orisa is a playable character. So this isn't even a character that's in the game.
Yeah.
It's a character in the backstory of a playable character in a stupid PC shooter game.
Yeah.
Already very niche. Somebody on the Overwatch Reddit took this picture of Effie, this little like Pixar-esque African whiz kid Doogie Howser girl.
Yeah.
And they photoshopped the baby Grinch's face onto this head. And with no context, made this post of Effie, baby Grinch, and the title of the post was, "I have become too powerful." To this day, might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen. My friend sent it to me, and we will occasionally just send it back and forth to each other ad nauseum because every time I see it, I will laugh out loud. What kind of fractured mind could create that? And also, it was executed so well. I have to show it to you because
Please.
The baby Grinch face is so funny to begin with. It's like Uncanny Valley. It has those giant eyes, and it's baby.
This is where he's like eating Santa, right?
Yes. Well,
okay.
no. Yeah, well, it's the babyest baby because there's also Kid Grinch with like when he shaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like in diapers, baby Grinch as Effie, the Overwatch side character. And it's like, I want to meet this person because like, what is your life like? How could you even like, what would possess you? I don't even know why we're talking about this.
Thanos.
It's because I mentioned the Grinch. Yeah, Thanos and then the Grinch. Okay. I've become too powerful. Let's move on. Okay, so Thanos is a great choice.
Who would you pick for most likely to succeed?
Most likely to succeed. The issue that I had with this whole exercise was there are so many, like there are a handful of villains that I love that I could pitch for any of the awards.
Mm-hmm.
Overall best villain and most effective in that they succeed in their goals. Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
I could do 4 hours just talking about Hannibal Lecter. In my mind, I have like a whole like YouTube long form video essay series on Hannibal Lecter. Everything about him is great.
Mm-hmm.
He manages with no resources to escape, to kill. He even like gets revenge on Dr. Chilton at the end of the movie.
You're talking strictly Silence of the Lambs, not necessarily
correct.
Hannibal, right? Okay.
I have major issues with some of the other Hannibal Lecter depictions.
Right.
But yeah, Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs, he's scary. He has great monologues. He has iconic looks. He has a great dynamic with the hero. He's just the tops.
Yeah.
He's the tops.
I would agree. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter, he's up there. He's a very classic villain. He's dangerous when he needs to be, but he's also dangerous when he's standing behind bars.
Absolutely.
Which is really cool.
He has menace. He's also very urbane. He's very methodical. I almost called this section class president, and I think he would work there too. He's charismatic, but like he's like probably a good administrator. Like Hannibal Lecter would put on a great class reunion. He might eat 2 or 3 people. There might be some classmates that exited and like entered and then didn't exit.
Which would be a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror special.
Absolutely, the Hannibal Lecter class reunion. That's phenomenal. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's up there for me. The other one, well, there's another one that I will submit for consideration for some of the other awards.
For a different category.
But it was a very close shave.
So I guess what do we do here? Because like we have 2 people that we've nominated, which in my yearbook there would be 2 people likely to be Vegas performers.
True.
For example.
Do we just say we could just do both?
We just leave them there, and then people that are listening to the podcast can then have their own discussion. And be like, yeah, do you feel like there's one that that needs like the higher spot on the podium, or is this just like equal ground?
Much like me and Sarah Egbert, we're going to submit them both, so 2 people get in the picture. Okay, so most likely to succeed, Hannibal Lecter, Thanos.
Okay. We also have this was a fun one. When Ben and I were hi Ben, I was talking to you, dear listener. When Ben and I were thinking of these different categories, we both had the same idea for like the and just like what we wanted to see, but how we got there was different. So this next category is this was Ben's idea. The person with the most school spirit. And so this would be like a best sidekick or henchman or underling of a villain.
This is the reasoning, right? You have the kid that's like, he's not on the sports team, but he's leading the cheers, the basketball game. He's supportive. He's got the vision. He's maybe not the main character, but he's right there to support the team.
Yes.
Who you got?
Okay, so and some people might argue that this person is more of like a main dish, but in the grand scheme of things, I would say they're more of like a sidekick, even though they don't necessarily work with the villain directly. It's more of an indirect thing. But I would say that Dolores Umbridge she is in is in a siloed way. She is her own villain.
Yep.
But she's also like sidekick to Cornelius Fudge,
she's a part of a corrupt administration.
Yes, and they are also in a way like unknowingly serving like the wills and whims of Voldemort.
She's like the Pam Bondi of the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah, everyone's demanding the release of the Voldemort files, and she just like, there is no Voldemort files. But I think as far
Bill
as...
Clinton is a Death Eater, and I have proof.
Yeah, Dolores Umbridge is one of the most diabolical characters in all of fiction.
She's great.
Absolutely terrible. Whether you're a book fan or a movie fan, and because we're talking about movies, I'm sticking with movies. But she is absolutely terrible. And she's got school spirit because she, at one point, runs the school.
She does. She's so smug.
Yes.
She's one of those, like, that actress is so great.
Yeah.
And she's like, that performance is so good that I could see encountering her in real life and hating her and not knowing why. I maybe have brought this up on the podcast, but I was in Dublin and I saw the actor that played Joffrey. He was, I think he was going to Trinity College at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that person is familiar, but I couldn't understand why. And how I realized who it was, I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but I want to punch him in the face. And it's because it was Joffrey freaking Baratheon.
Yes.
And he seems like a very nice person, but like he had embodied that role so fully that I was like, this guy, I want to poison him.
Yeah.
I want to poison him at dinner.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. What happens to Dolores Umbridge? Does she get a good comeuppance?
Sort of.
I can't
she gets taken away by the centaur herd eventually.
Oh, right.
Because she's very bigoted, right? So she hates like the half breeds and
sort of poetic.
Yeah, she's very, in the current political climate, she's not like outspoken MAGA. She's just like that conservative that you're just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you going along with all this?
Yeah,
Dolores.
She's just like, I'm racist, but in a polite way.
Yeah.
And like in a falsely sweet way.
She'd be like in favor of alligator Alcatraz, but would like get really mad if you swore around her.
Yeah, totally.
She's got wacky ethics. Okay, I think that's great. Dolores Umbridge, best school spirit. Oh, that's great.
Could be debatable whether or not she's like the main villain.
No. Yeah. She that's a great pick. Okay, my pick, I realized one of my picks is actually from a TV show.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm going to bring it up. Well, actually, no, I'm going to wait because there's a better category for this character. I chose Benny Gabor from the Brendan Fraser Mummy. He's the little snivelly sidekick guy that starts out as Brendan Fraser's friend and then ends up working for the Mummy.
Yes. Okay.
He always says, O'Connell.
Yeah, a very deep cut.
He's the best. Like, I don't know that I've seen that actor in anything else, but he's like, he has this horrible pallor and just the little mustache, and he's wearing a fez, and he's just like schemy and greedy, and his alliances shift. He's the best. What an unfortunate thing to be born with a face where know, because he's not giving main character villain energy with his face. No. This is just how he was born. He can't help it. He very much has like the snivelly. He's like a Crispin Glover type. Although maybe not. Crispin Glover maybe has more range. And maybe this guy does. Maybe this guy is, but like he's just perfect in that role.
Very, very good.
There's the scene where it's like a perfect encapsulation of his character when the mummy comes to life, as mummies are wont to do.
Indeed.
And is threateningly approaching Benny. And Benny has the religious icons of like 20 different religions on his necklace.
Oh yeah, and he's
praying.
Like
he's holding them up, and then I think he holds up the Star of David, and the mummy's like, "Hey, the slaves, I recognize that."
Yeah.
Much like Russell Brand, just trying to find a religion that will stick to defend himself. He is the Russell Brand of the franchise. O'Connell! And then I think he ends up he's so greedy in the treasure chamber that he ends up getting like trapped in the tomb. He's the best.
Oh my God.
That is such a good movie. I think we talked about this maybe after one of the pods.
We were saying we should have done. We talked about the Mummy,
that's right.
the Scorpion King, The Mummy Returns, because that was a trilogy that we didn't.
The
talk
Scorpion
on.
King needs to be talked about for Class Clown because the CGI Dwayne Johnson with a scorpion body is one of the funniest things ever on screen. So yeah, I submit Benny Gabor. Honorable mention, Brad Dourif as Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Great henchman.
And I would just also, if you're going to say an honorable mention is Wormtongue, I'm going to say Wormtail again from the Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series. Let's just keep this like super divisive.
Yeah.
Because that is again another guy that was born with a face that is only meant for like the peon of a main villain character.
Yeah. I feel like I saw him in something recently.
He's in Enchanted.
Oh, he's
a peon.
He's
the same thing.
Is he? Yep, he's a peon.
He's just got one of those faces.
He's a peon. Sorry,
got one of those faces.
So we've got Wormtongue, Wormtail, and then the worm that died in RFK's brain. Great henchmen. They're doing the work of the villain. Okay, so yeah, I think those are two good choices. We got Benny, spelled Beni. I found today.
Oh,
Benny Gabor, and Dolores Umbridge. Those are great, and you feel like they'd get along.
They could, yeah.
Like there would be like a kind of a closeted loathing between them, but you'd feel like they would be a good little evil committee.
They're both
together.
really good suck-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was the hardest for me to narrow down because on screen, so much of the villain is the look. I'm sure there are exceptions to that rule, but you can learn so much about a character by how they're designed. That's one of the cool things about film as a medium. I think, this one was very hard for me because there's so many great villain looks. I think I'm going to end up doing a lot of honorable mentions here, but I think it's very hard to look beyond Darth Vader.
Very classic.
Yeah. Instantly recognizable, kind of instantly iconic. I wasn't around when Star Wars was first released.
In the theaters.
Well, I was. It's in the theater so often that I was around when the special edition was released in theaters. But yeah, people talk about seeing Darth Vader for the first time, and it's like, oh yeah, this is an all-timer.
Yeah. Great
entrance. He's black against the white hallway going into the tent of 4. Yeah, it's just he has this like vaguely like World War II Nazi helmet thing happening. He's skeletal. He's got bits and bobs. Thematically, he's like the embodiment of the machine that is the Empire. He's just great.
He's really great. Very menacing because it's hard for, and you see this a lot in Marvel movies, like Spider-Man, for example, will take his mask off because it's hard for people to act with a mask on. One thing that I will give to the Star Wars universe is you have people that are able to portray amazingly with full masks on, Darth Vader being one of them. And then I also think of Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Again, like
does a great
always
job.
Has a helmet on, but you can tell by like body language like how menacing and how powerful these people are. So I think Darth Vader is very, very, very well designed.
He's just a total package of a villain. He has, I know, like he honestly could have been most likely to succeed level. So giving him this award maybe feels reductive, but when I think about best dressed villain, he's where I go to immediately.
Gosh, yeah, I was also thinking Vader just because he's so iconic.
Yeah.
If I were to, dang.
Did I steal your pick?
No.
Let me introduce a couple others and see if it gets your juices flowing. Some of the alternate choices I had is the Xenomorph from Alien and Aliens.
Yes.
Just the fact that they like let H.R. Geiger, this weird artistic sex fiend, design the alien is so cool. And the sort of like sexual, weird, invasive nature of the character works well with the ideas of the story. There's like a lot of body horror. There's a lot of like ideas about like pregnancy and invasion. And anyway, it's just instantly recognizable, instantly cool. It has 2 mouths for some reason.
Yeah.
Its blood is acid. It has a whole life cycle, which is cool. Like the thing that pops out of John Hurt's belly at dinner.
Dude, the face suckers are terrifying.
Oh, the whole thing.
That's like the whole idea of Alien is crazy.
All of the production design in that series is amazing, but I think like the fully formed xenomorph itself is just incredible. Great villain.
Okay, so this is one that I feel like it's some people hate it, some people love it. I actually thought it was a really good design. I want to go to the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman. First off, so the Penguin, like Colin Farrell is the Penguin. Amazing! I didn't recognize him.
It's wild. Have you watched the show?
I have not, but I hear it's really good.
It's really good. It like just a great crime show.
Yeah.
Batman, I don't think is even mentioned in the show. It's way better than it has any right to be.
Cool.
That's cool.
I do think the design of Penguin is great because he's not so like Danny DeVito comical, but good design. But the thing that I actually really like is the Riddler. I think the Riddler has some people don't like it, but I thought he had a really cool
Paul Dano
design. Yeah, Paul Dano's character, the Riddler, just because it really fit. Like at the end of the movie, you see there's a lot of online discussion. He's a nerdy, very smart guy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's like a what are they, like the internet like simp or I don't know.
Like
I can't.
An incel.
Yeah.
He feels like a QAnon adjacent type character.
I don't even know what QAnon is.
Yeah, no, well, it's the same idea. Just like they did a really great job of adapting a comic book idea into something that felt grounded or is based on a real life idea or archetype.
Like his like archetype, like the character archetype is the people that we see involved in like tragedies in real life.
Yeah.
Like it's usually the people that are like very much into like they have like their niche online community. There's a lot of hate. They're in echo chambers.
Yeah.
They have their own like view of things. And so I thought it was really cool that a lot of like the Riddler's design was stuff from like army surplus stores.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like the army jacket.
Yeah.
He had the mask. Still had to wear his glasses.
Yeah,
like
that's a great
his
detail.
clear glasses. Yeah.
He's sort of like looks like the Zodiac.
Yeah.
The real life serial killer, the Zodiac.
Yeah.
The hood and they were kind of referencing.
I thought it was. He, without being a very campy, Jim Carrey Riddler, he still like used riddles and messages to kind of leave a calling card, but also wasn't beyond just using very like grotesque ways of like hurting people, like using duct tape and carpenter tools or carpeting tools and things like that. So I really liked that idea. I thought it felt really well with the character.
Can we just talk about really quickly when that trailer came out and they show the DC logo and it's turning to the sound of the duct tape roll?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that really set the tone. That trailer blew me away, and it's got Something in the Way, the Nirvana song.
Oh yeah.
Great trailer. That's a really good pull. You can't have Robert Pattinson fighting Danny DeVito.
No, that'd
like they did a good job of like, this is what Batman is, and this is his like rogues gallery has to match that vibe, otherwise it gets silly. Yeah.
I also like that it didn't end in Batman in a fist fight with the Riddler.
Right. Him having to like avert a scheme is better than this is what I hate when they like, why is Joker even standing a chance?
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that trope where they have to have a fist fight with the villain.
That's the only way you can resolve it, man.
Well,
brute force.
That's the way to do it. Okay, great pick, and impressive, by the way, to just go to the well that quickly, because I sort of pulled the Vader-shaped rug out from under you.
The very iconic Vader-shaped rug.
Okay, I'm gonna say, just to quickly get a couple other honorable mentions. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen from Dune.
Oh.
Bathing in balsamic vinegar.
Yeah.
Wearing a giant nightshirt.
Yep.
Just what a great look. He's menacing. He's gross. Him like floating on the repulsors with the long nighty shirt is it's just off-putting. It's like infantile.
Yeah. See, if we had like most comfortable looking villain, I probably would say Baron von what is it? Harkonnen?
Harkonnen.
Yeah, so I do like the Baron from Dune or Voldemort because they just have like these long black robes.
So
it's like, they're not wearing anything underneath there.
Absolutely
a nice
not.
draft, comes in and is like, I'm way more comfortable than most people in here.
If the people making the Harry Potter movies had any sort of guts, they would have backlit Ralph Fiennes at some point during the movie. just for like 2 frames legs. Of every shape you could imagine from Ralph. That would have been incredible. Question for the audience. Maybe we'll put out a poll. Is a villain scarier if you know they're going commando?
I
think so.
That is the question.
I think it's like, this person is unhinged.
Yeah.
There's something really scary to me about a villain who is like really enjoying villainy. Voldemort's like getting off on his villainy.
Yeah.
This is why I'm
what an interesting phrase to mutter.
Okay. Listen. I think we're going to take a big pivot here. What do you think is the villain of the animal kingdom?
The villain of the animal kingdom?
What is the most villainous animal?
Oh my gosh. I think it's a toss-up between wasps and mosquitoes.
Ooh,
they are just
very good.
Absolutely terrible. I think wasps also help with cross-pollination, but honestly, I don't give a flying because I'll take bees for that.
Wasps are
terrible.
They're just existing out of spite. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say wasp. A wasp is like a Sauron type villain.
Okay.
It's pure evil.
Yes.
I think the villain of the animal kingdom is the chimpanzee.
Please elaborate.
And I'll tell you why. The chimpanzee villain archetype, and we saw this with Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay.
What's the...
Koba.
Koba could be...
Oh, he's a really good
I didn't even think about Koba.
Oh, he's a really good
villain.
But
here's my thing. Returning to Voldemort just having the time of his life being evil, I think I would rather be killed by any other animal than a chimpanzee because the chimpanzee has the capacity to enjoy killing me.
Okay, I see.
Like a bear could kill me.
Mm-hmm.
A bear's going to kill me because it's threatened or because it's hungry.
Yeah, it's instinctive.
A chimpanzee might rip my face off because it feels like it. And that is horrifying to me.
The
chimpanzee is the Hannibal Lecter of the animal kingdom. And the mosquito, what is the mosquito? So wasp is Sauron. Chimpanzee, Hannibal Lecter. The mosquito is...
I think I'm just bitter of anything that can ruin a picnic. I think that's like a villain to me.
That's the ultimate sin an animal can commit. Oh, you ruined the picnic.
Which, I mean, I think a chimpanzee ripping someone's face off could also ruin your picnic.
Could definitely ruin a picnic. But I don't think ants are villainous. I'm very pro-ant, even though they could ruin a picnic, but you'd be like, they're just trying to feed their family.
Yeah.
They're just trying to feed the nest.
There's just a lot of them.
But I actually saw... like a Instagram post about someone hating mosquitoes because it's like, listen, I'm trying to feed you and you're making me itch. Like if you just came and sucked my blood, no problem.
Yeah.
Why are you being spiteful to your own food source, mosquitoes?
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Don't
you
literally,
son of a bitch.
Literally, you're biting the hand that feeds you and then leaving a cyst, a wound, a hive.
Terrible.
It's horrible. Okay.
Terrible.
Sorry. Baron Harkonnen, Darth Vader, Xenomorph, Riddler. I also want to throw into the mix Gary Oldman Dracula.
Okay.
You haven't seen that movie.
I haven't seen it, but I know
seen,
of him.
The big hair.
Oh, yeah.
He has a couple different looks, which I love. He has several different looks during the movie. One is the big hair and the independently moving shadow, which they so perfectly parodied in The Simpsons.
Yes.
But then he also like goes into thirst trap mode later in the movie where he's like young again and he's got like ringlets and like cool like tinted glasses when he like goes to London to pursue Mina, Winona Ryder. It's just great. And then I think he also becomes like a werewolf and has like very graphic bloody sex with someone. It's like
interesting.
He's serving different looks, which I can really appreciate. So he's on my list as well.
Okay.
But let's say our most strongly felt picks: Darth Vader, Riddler.
I
Great.
think I'm gonna have to stick
Love
with
it.
Riddler.
Okay. This one, I didn't know how to reframe this as a high school yearbook award, but I think this could just be in a yearbook. Who's got the best voice?
Yeah.
I could see something like, yeah, this guy's got a great voice, a great laugh.
Yeah.
Who's your pick?
All right. So I am so sad that audiobooks took off before this guy passed away. But I love, I think his name's Tony J. He does the voice of Claude Frollo and Shere Khan.
Oh my gosh!
I would put him toe to toe with James Earl Jones. But he just has like the really deep, like resonating voice that can't. It would be hard to be a grandchild of Tony J and to think that he actually loved you if he was saying it. Just because he's got such a menacing sounding voice.
Oh my gosh, great voice.
So yeah, so maybe just for the sake of like not necessarily picking the actor, but we'll just say Frollo. Frollo has a really good kind of silky, bassy voice, but it just it doesn't invite happy feelings.
Absolutely not. He's like if Tony the Tiger had someone hidden in his basement.
It's great down there, don't you think?
It's not great. It's definitely not great. Oh my gosh, that's a great pick. I feel like I know him from something else. It just feels like he could just like do a creepy horror movie trailer.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did like a video game voice, because he'd just be phenomenal.
Could be.
That. We need to look him up. We need to look up the Benny Gabor actor, and we need to look up the Tony J filmography. That's a great call. Okay.
Okay, best voice. Who you got, Ben?
This is like the deepest cut imaginable. This is as deep of a cut as Baby Grinch Effie. This is a movie that I've never met another person besides my own mom who's seen this movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a Michael Mann movie. It's based on a novel. It is called The Keep.
Never heard of it.
The Keep is it's set in World War II.
Okay.
And the Nazis encountered this weird ancient castle with all these kind of mystical elements to it.
Interesting.
Ian McKellen's in it.
Great.
And inadvertently, the Nazis wake up this kind of otherworldly god whose name, I had to look it up, is Radu Molasar. And Radu Molasar is this like evil entity that just starts killing Nazis off.
Wow.
It's weird. It's mystical. This guy shows up with like a rod of light in the movie and like has a graphic late 80s sex scene with the female protagonist and then fights Radu Molasar. Anyway.
Wow.
Radu Molasar is like this creepy being that starts as a skeleton, and as the movie progresses, he's like slowly like generating flesh.
Okay. Like the Mummy.
Kind of like the Mummy,
okay.
But it's practical effects. We're just going to have to, like, at this point on the recording, play some of his voice. But
okay.
He just has all these really scary scenes where he's interacting with Ian McKellen, and he just has, like, a really cool villain voice and great dialogue. Radu Molasar.
Okay.
This is like a... Get a load of this. This guy films.
Yeah.
Also check out the movie. I don't even know if this is a movie you can like find. I'm sure it's like not on streaming, but I love it. So I'm gonna throw that one out there. I also had two alternates that are most people would be familiar with.
I think we have to do a 2-part thing because I have a meeting right now.
Okay.
With HR.
Oh. Okay.
Anyways, we're gonna pick this up part 2. We got a lot more awards to discuss. Way more villains.
2. I don't think it'll be 3. I think it'll be 2.
Yeah. Well, we said that last time.
That's okay.
We'll see.
It's very true.
Ben, this was really fun. We'll come back and talk about the other awards we have for villains.
Hope you don't get fired. Good luck in HR.
Thank you.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.